This is King Noble Black Supremacy. And with this particular video, I want to talk about how consciousness is the key to the realm of the divine. True consciousness. What a lot of people call consciousness is just becoming a history buff and knowing a lot of facts and having historical information, not expanding their ability to perceive reality or their capacity to see beyond what they have seen before, to behold something greater, but just the ability to use their memory better, to fill up their memory with information that they can regurgitate and spit out when it's convenient. That's what they call conscious, or being aware of political and social events, being aware of this type of stuff, or being aware of what they're doing to you as far as chemtrails and what they're doing to your food. And this is what they call being conscious. So if you know what they put in your food, you know about chemtrails, or you're a history buff, or you're aware of social political events, then you're conscious according to them. But true consciousness is the key to the realm of the divine. When you truly become conscious, your entire paradigm shift. The realm that you exist in is no longer the same. You're still in the same place, but your consciousness is expanded in such a way that you see a different reality. That things mean different. What things mean is different to you. What they symbolize is different for you. You're more empowered by what you perceive. And you project from a greater space from within inside of you into the reality that you experience. See what consciousness really is? Consciousness is the fabric of your reality. You're living inside of your own consciousness. That's what you're living and moving and walking around in. And how deep that consciousness is, how divine your consciousness is, will be how divine your experiences shall be within your life. Because divinity will be your narrative. That's what you will perceive. But for many of us, our consciousness has been implanted. So we're walking around in somebody else's mind that has been given to us. But the mind that we have that has been given to us works for them. It makes us slave to reproducing their fourth dimensional world. We're constantly reproducing that. And we're living in the reproduction of that fourth dimensional world that works for them, that benefits them, that leads us to them. But when you really, really know how to use your consciousness to enter into the realm of the divine, now you're able to interface in this material world in a way that remanufactures the divine world before you. It utilizes situation, moments, and events in a way that paint a divine picture, in a way that connects you to the eternal divine reality. So you're no longer disempowered, or you're no longer a slave to their reality anymore. You're no longer limited to their meanings and their definitions and locked within functioning within that construct. Now you see something of so much greater magnitude. Now you have more to work for, more to work with, more to pull from. Now you are seeing it as it was, as it is as it was in the ancient time, before we were programmed, before our collective consciousness was programmed by those entities to erase history in a way where we could not restore our greatness in the present moment. But when you truly become conscious and your consciousness enters into the realm of the divine, now you're no longer locked anymore into that matrix. Now you are no longer limited. You can reproduce the divine world with what is in front of you. You don't even need anymore. There is no lack, doubt, and limitation. You don't need anymore. You now can see the value and interpret everything in front of you. You can interpret the phenomenon in front of you in the most ingenious manner to produce the most optimal result, to remanufacture the divine reality. So you don't have to go to a different place. Like we think of, we gotta astral travel to another realm or go to another place or another dimension. No, it's right in front of you. It's just how they have defined reality for you. It limits you to be able to utilize it in a way to ascend and to be exalted into a higher status in your present existence. They give you slave narratives. They give you dramas. They give you victim consciousness. They give you their reality for you to reproduce through your reactions. So your very reactions reproduce your own imprisonment, thinking that you're moving towards freedom. You yourself are producing the jail itself, because we cannot see the divine reality. We cannot see the divine totality that confronts us, that awaits us to recognize it in the present moment, because we're distracted by things that they have said are valuable and have meanings. We're distracted by the fears and concerns that they have implanted with us, where they can continue to feed off of us as energy vampires. Our thoughts and our perceptions produces food for them. Continue to feed off our energy to produce their reality. So they got you distracted by these types of circumstances that you feel that is necessary to get caught up into their meanings and their definitions, and to argue and fight within their construct to continue to produce value within their reality. We're caught up there. We're unable to move into the divine reality, to just ascend above these circumstances that reproduce the limited reality that they feed on, that they need you to continue to reconstruct for them. They need you to be worried about all these human and mundane issues that they have manufactured to keep you at a limited space, to where you won't even see the divine reality. You'll just see these issues and these problems and these circumstances that are average, that are normal for you at the level that they have limited you to be, to see these different things, to see these different situations and dynamics. That the solutions, gaining the solution, is not the solution. No longer even seeing the problems or being fixated with the type of problems that would lock you into their dimension of reality. They have you obsessed with these unique problems that become the gist of your human experience. And they recycle these problems from person to person. And now individuals seek validation from each other to maintain these problems, that if you solve them, you'll be no closer to experiencing the divine reality. That these problems and the fixation with this mundane implanted reality is distracting you from entering into the divine reality, which is the correct meaning. It's the correct meaning, it's the correct definition, and it's an interpretation of the true symbolism of this material world. I said it before that this material world is full of symbolisms. It's very symbolic. It's a very symbolic existence. But the symbols have been manipulated by the elite to make you see a world and a reality that works for them, that produces their outcomes, that produces their end game. But once your consciousness unlocks and enters into the divine realm, then now you see these symbols differently. You see the symbol of human existence as a representation of the eternal reality, of the eternal time-space continuum that is not separated, that then is now. The only thing that makes now not then is how they have implanted a new consciousness construct within the soul, within entities that are moving around on this plane. So they have divided the eternal heaven from the present moment. They have divided the ancient of days, the ancient reality from the present moment. They have divided it within your mind to make you think that you're someone else, somewhere else, and you truly are situated in the divine reality. You just cannot interpret the energy and the material reality in front of you. You cannot interpret it in a way that presents the divine reality to you. You cannot interpret your experiences or perceive the people and the events around you in a way that unlocks your ability to construct heaven on earth, to construct a divine world in front of you. You believe in the limits that they have given you, and you are limited with the problems that they have made it okay to have. They have given you a list of perceptions that you have even begin to think that it's free thought, that you're thinking these things, and that you're orchestrating these things, and that you're determining what is valuable for you. And they just gave you all of these things to distract you from the divine world. So you don't even see the divine reality anymore. You see this new false and artificial generated reality that they gave you, a way that you can interpret these infinite symbols of existence, that you interpreted them in a limited way, that creates this new artificial reality that they are conquering in, that they are succeeding in, that they are being your overlord in, that they are feeding off of. True consciousness is the key to entering into the divine realm. That is here. It's just above the noise. It's just above the bullshit. It's above the paradigm and the information that they're constantly putting out. It's above their propaganda. Their whole reality is fake news. It's not just what's on the television. Your mind now is generating fake news by how you perceive reality. It's at a personal level of conscious activity where your mind is generating it, and you want to go beyond that mental activity, go beyond that state, remove that, detoxify from that, where now you can move into the divine reality that is very present. And once you enter that reality, everything else that you were seeing was an apparition. It was a ghost. It wasn't even real. It was a hallucination. Or how you lose a nation. It was just a hallucination. It was just apparitions, just figments of an imagination that was not the real nation or nature. Nation coming from the word nature, or nature of reality. You're not seeing the nature of reality. You're seeing an overlay, an artificial overlay that's been created by artificial entities that know how to feed in that false realm. I'm trying to get you to go beyond all of that and see the divine reality here. So I'm coming in the form and in the embodiment and the manifestation of that divine reality here in this, on this plane, challenging your symbolisms as a revolutionary. so that you can see the totality of Black divinity and begin to move on into that divine reality yourself. It's King Noble Black Supremacy signing out.